Good morning, everyone. Cheers to the markets movement and the experience you all had already. Because market respected our prediction accurately, particularly for the important dates we have discussed. Of course, the 15th of October, the high and low of that particular day acted well and discounted or factored the markets movement with a huge almost 300 points of rally in the Nifty in a single day happened because of the high got broken for the 15th of October. That was the significant or important or a key date, one of the key date we have mentioned, and we are now standing on another immediate key dates which is following after 15th. This is the 17th of October 2025. So this particular action only can be understood, or that means can be understood as a proof for the behavior analysis what we are doing and the outcome it is giving through the way of Nifty or Sensex or any other instrument we are actually discussing. As per the review of yesterday's one, as we have mentioned about the yesterday's pre-market outlook, the breaking of the high of 15th October would be a chance for inching further upside towards 25,500 to 25,700 zone like. In two stages of resistance, what we have discussed has been respected by our Nifty. Particularly without even touching the 15th high point, as it has been treated as a low or a support zone for the yesterday's movement, and more than the yesterday's the 15th of October once high, the low was slightly higher, 10 points around higher than that point. That is even a signal or a hint for the behavioral study about the strength and clarity, most of all the confidence who are all having implemented some strategies on the long side might have seen in yesterday's movement. So that Nifty, if you see after respecting our levels and strategies who are all applied have been successfully factored on the price actions. And finally, it closed above very key important points of 25,500, even 600 zones. So that large time frame based close starting with a Harley till in the daily candle, we can see some historical facts, how it has actually made this, and through this upward leg, it has already discussed now. So the new leg of rally possible for the Nifty leg. For that, the hint given by the benchmark indices as well as it has started by confirming the next leg of rally. Before discussing today's session, we just share the Nifty chart to explain some important information. Kindly be online. So this is the Nifty chart you are seeing on the display. See, for example, this is the 15th October's candle, daily based candle, high and low we are seeing now. See, the 25,365 was the high for the Nifty on that day. And the low 25,159. What we have discussed in yesterday's trend, breaking on either side would be getting the direction. We actually stands with the positive side like we have mentioned. As we have predicted and given the trend-based analysis as well as levels, see the next day, yesterday's open to low point where it has actually recorded like. against the high of 25,365. Check the low of particular day, yesterday's one, 25,376, almost 11 to 12 points, which has got limited to its downward attempt if any happened, but it has not given a chance for the downside. It has continuously constructed with increased intensity on the long build-up. And finally, it has broken 25,600 zone. So afterwards, it has actually closed around 25,600, which was actually above the key points of 25,331, 25,450, 25,500. All these resistance have been respected and broken. Afterwards, the close also happened above these points. And importantly, the Nifty, see the key dates, how it has been performing like. Say for example, for the September month, we can take the first date we have mentioned in the September month, and following with that 18th, 30th September are the dates we have indicated as important one. Like the 1st September, if you take, the low of 1st September has not been even touched in any days till the September month got closes. See, this was the low, that means 24,432 was the low, and this low has not even touched till the September month end. So the significance of the date mentioned acted right from the first date itself. Afterwards, if you take the 18th, see this 18th onwards, the correction started. Check this. And even 16th also we have mentioned. For that 16th, the point of 25,261. We have many times discussed this point also. 261 would be acting as sometimes support, and sometimes in the recent sessions acted as a resistance point. See the 16th of September, where the date was one of the key one. It has actually witnessed 25,261 as the exact high. Afterwards, it has moved up continuously to the high of 25,448. So from the recent, that means the particular dates high to this particular points, 200 point, almost 1% of rally happened after that. But on the important date of 18th, again it has given the top, that means formed a top. Afterwards, the correction happened till the October starts. So that correction was about to, if you take from the midpoint of the September, the Nifty was standing at 3.5% higher. After the correction took place, it has corrected almost 3.3%. So over 3% of correction happened from the top. Importantly, on the date wise, we have noted. Afterwards, for the particular October month, see this 1st October also mentioned as key date. So that particular day's high has not yet, even on the high based one, 24,867 recorded on 1st October, has not even closed below to that particular point by the Nifty side, which only provided that much of strength to reach. See, from the 24,867 high, if you are taking 25,625 from the recent high, if you are calculating, almost 800 to 900 points of rally happened based on the dates importance we are providing. We are predicting and providing. So that is what we want to share with you. How importantly, accurately the dates are acting like. Say after October 1st, we have mentioned about 15th of October's importance, as this is also one of the date. The 16th of October, what we have been discussing about the break of 25,331 as a important resistance nearly the Nifty is having, has got broken on that particular day. Till that day, it could not even touch the 25,331. But during the 15th date only, on the important event based date only, it has actually crossed the 331 and 25,365 was the high on that day. But the thing was, it could not close above that point. So that only the gap up kind of behavior witnessed by the Nifty above the level of 25,331, the close, particularly from the open, if you are taking, the open was 25,394 for that day. So almost 60 plus point above the resistance point, it has actually started, and afterwards it was consecutively constructed because of the higher opening above the resistance zone. This is a kind of behavior based results one can observe. So these are all the important things one can actually get a sense from the dates what we have been discussing and mentioning in the report. Every month it would be like the important dates would be mentioned, and where the movement of the particular instrument like Nifty or whatever the instruments we are mentioning on that date, and particular dates high and low would be closely monitored based on the levels it has recorded on the chart. You can actually take the trades or direction you can get from the high and low breaking. So either side, if it is giving a break, means based on that break itself, you can get the signal, or otherwise until closing, if you are waiting, means it would be very better to get the confirmation in a higher manner. So after getting confirmation, you can follow the same direction based on the high and low breakout. So that is what the information the Nifty has for you. And we can move to the today's part, how it is actually going to give the opening and how it is going to behave like. Yes, the opening trend would be in alignment with the global markets, flat to positive or a mild negative, anywhere between 50 points here or there. One can actually see on the Nifty side. Anyway, it is a flat market. It is in the opening session. And after opening, the trend probably turning towards consolidating within a particular range, but the consolidation may not be lasting because some breakout happened, some strength renewed, and the new leg of formation also occurred. Because of this, the duty of extending the momentum may be happening on the Nifty, Bank Nifty, even from the mid-cap space also. By the way of extending, the further resistance zones or capping zones to maybe approached immediately after first hour we can expect. So around 10:15 to 10:30, we can see some improvement in the trends. But in the midst of the ongoing construction of the long build-up in the new leg, around 12 to or around 1 o'clock time period, we can get some important signal for the trend change or a trend continuation based booster. So these kind of things can be around this time period of 12 or 1 can be expected. Why we are mentioning this timing means based on today's important the date is having. We can also analyze the time period where the turnaround or where the some important actions can be expected on the instrument like Nifty or any stock, even though. So that purpose only we have mentioned about the timings where it can show some improvement or change. Let's see what is going to happen. And if it shows the opening trend may be around the 25,500, but afterwards one should note down whether the 25,450 is retained by the Nifty or not. Until otherwise it is actually getting broken, there would be no retracement would be happening. So until otherwise the 25,450 getting broken, possibility for 25,600 to 25,650 may be taken by the Nifty, and with a buy and dip strategy, the day traders can approach the Nifty by keeping the support or a stop loss around 25,331 as a whole, or for the risky traders 25,450 maybe treated as an immediate support. So these are all the levels one should follow for building the long or for giving a decision. That means that taking decision on reducing the position or booking the profits or taking the chance for building the short positions, like whatever the thing may be, based on the breakdown the Nifty is giving, you can take the informed decision. And if it is not breaking this particular point, you can keep focusing on the long side only for the day. But from the positional perspective, if you look out, since the yesterday's high 15th October, not yesterday's one, 15th October's high and low is retained by the Nifty. Particularly on the low side, you can keep eyeing on as a great support the Nifty hereafter going to have for next month even. So next one full month also may be treated a great support of 15th October low. So that can be noted and act whenever it is actually giving a retracement. No worries, that can be treated as a buying opportunity. Afterwards, one can think only by the break of 15th October low, you should change your strategy into building shorts. Until then, only long can be focused. And by the additional cushion, we can have the 15th of October's high, that 365. So until otherwise it is not getting broken, you can even build a higher level of or higher quantities of longs by betting based on the strength it is now having. Because if the candle is high not broken, means there is no doubt about the low. It could not getting approached or it could not be broken. Because of that particular strength, it is could not break the high of particular candle. You can get the opportunity to continue the positions in the same side, and you can even build the same with the buy and dip strategy. So this much of information provided based on the Nifty's behavior. So the levels based, trend based things and all, why we are discussing the in this much of insightful matter means, so the thing will be very easy to approach. There is no doubt, there is no panic, there is no darkness in the strategies. All is open now. So clarity is very, very higher when compared to the previous sessions. So that's the reason we are actually stressing the point again and again. That's it. From the strategy side, we can discuss. Then, if it is so, the Nifty is continue to move further, means what are the sectors can focus? First sector we have mentioned in today's report as financial services or finance. See, particularly in this finance index, after we mentioned the make or break should be happen, like the make happened, that also discussed yesterday. And the make was continued in yesterday's trend, another 1% happened. While the first time the make happened on that particular 15th of October, around 1% of high total close happened on the finance index. Afterwards, with the continuation, another almost 1% of movement added. So almost 2% of momentum from the date where we mentioned a make or break can be happened, like this is what the proof for the another study of behavior based one. And after FM, that means the financial services, FMCG would be the next one to be watched out. If you are holding any positions on the FMCG side, you can, for the 1 or 2 session, it may be held because the FMCG rally just started. But anyway, this kind of rally on the defensive sector should be utilized to reduce the position, not for continuously hold or build the positions on the long side. So that is another part. And from the banking side, the important private banks like Kotak Mahindra, IndusInd Bank, and Axis Bank, ICICI Bank. So these are all having some momentum. And public sector bank side, we can expect some important movement from State Bank of India, Canara Bank, Indian Bank, IOB like. And next one, the realty sector. It has actually proved well in yesterday's trade with the help of Godrej Properties, Suntech Realty, Anant Raj Industries, DLF. So in all the way, most of the real estate oriented stocks performed well yesterday, and which are all expected to continue the same movement or behavior in today's move also. The MNCs would be noted for today's markets movement, how it is going to impact on it. So the MNCs oriented stocks also can be focused for their trading opportunities. So these are all the sectors one should follow, which are all actually going to propel the market growth. And for the stock side, the day traders, based on the news or earnings based or technical behavior based stocks, we have listed here amongst many that are having opportunity for the day, include Infosys Technologies, Wipro, LTI Mindtree, Geo Financial Services, JSW Energy, JSW Infra, Scientech Realty. These stocks can be focused by the intraday players for an enhanced trading prospects. From the results front, today the companies starting with a giant Reliance Industries. The Reliance Industries result probably post-market it may be delivered. And the impact may be factored in tomorrow's trade. That means the next trading days on Monday's one. So on Diwali, we can see some important movement based on the Reliance impact. And JSW Steel, Hindustan Zinc, REC Limited, Dixon Technologies, Polycab India, Havels India, Bank of India, OFSS, L&T Technology Services, Poonawara Pincap, and Dalmia Bharat Cements are the core companies announcing the September ended quarter result today. And these stocks, that these companies oriented stocks also can be focused by getting some opportunities. But anyhow, where the Nifty is actually showing direction, in the same direction, if you are seeing or if you are monitoring the large cap particularly, there you can also get additional opportunities to approach these stocks. Keeping stop loss would be very important irrespective of the direction you are following. And we wish everyone to have a fabulous trading day today, the final day of the week. We'll be anyway discussing about the next weeks, even though it is truncated, including 2 consecutive holidays approaching. So the truncated week may not be having such important moments and all for the next week. Anyhow, the consolidation is good in this kind of particular stages. So we'll see how the market will be performing through the way of our market outlook presentation, which is going to conduct tomorrow around 11:30. Hope you are going to participate in that too. And from the pre-market perspective, we'll be again discussing the same on Monday, 20th of October, the Diwali day. And most importantly, to remind you all that we have actually provided you in advance to the 1 month of period, the Diwali to Diwali picks as a report, which has the potentiality in the targets range above 15 to 20% as a normal, and over 30% of potential oriented stocks are recommended in that report. And we have circulated during the first week of October itself. So we are just reminding you to look over it, which are having over 50% cross away in the target zone can be utilized to reduce some positions. And if you want to keep holding or accumulating for the means, any dips can be utilized for that accumulation or fresh entry also. And on the Diwali trade, it would be again reminded about the Diwali picks what you have provided for the next Diwali till the time. So make use of the report we have provided, and special recommendations for the Diwali Muhurta trade also will be recommended in the eve or on the same day of the Diwali day. So there also we can see some recommendations would be working out for the particular Muhurta trade kind of things. So thank you for your patience in listening to today's meeting. Hope you all have a great weekend and have a happy Diwali in advance. So going to be a prosperous one. And we wish everyone to have the fantastic reward in this year. Thank you. Bye-bye.